Hello again in this video clip series, my journey to God in a very secularized world. In the last several video clips, we've been talking about the likes and dislikes of the devil, which has been compiled by a very good exorcist priest here in Italy, in Venice. And he began to record his exorcisms, and after thousands of exorcisms, he kind of summarized them, put them together, and together what he called likes and dislikes of the devil. We had finished in the last video clip the likes of the devil. Now we will begin with the devil dislikes. We'll call it A, confession. The devil, these are right from the straight words from the devil, because he recorded the voice by way of the possessed person, the devil, what his words from the devil. So these are from the words of the devil, what the devil is talking. A, confession. What a stupid invention. These are the words from the devil. What a stupid invention. How much it pains me. It makes me suffer the blood of that false god of yours. That blood, how it crushes me. It destroys me. It washes your soul, and it makes me run away. And then it's in parentheses, horrible crying screams of the devil. He hates confession. That blood is my most atrocious pain. But I have found those priests who no longer believe in confession and send the Christians to receive that false god in sin. Good, very good. How many sacrileges I caused to be committed. He's talking here about all the many people today who go to communion in their mortal sin. They no longer go to confession. Number 2, or B. The meal where you eat the flesh and the blood of that crucified one that I killed. It is here where I lose my battles. It is here where I found myself disarmed. I no longer have strength to fight. Those who nourish themselves with this flesh and drink this blood becomes very strong against me. They become invincible against my shrewd seductions and temptations. They seem different from the others. It seems that they have a special light and a very quick intelligence. They reject me immediately, and they distance themselves from me, and they crush me as if I were a dog. What sadness! What pain to deal with these cannibals. Cannibals because they said they're eating the flesh of Christ. Cannibals. But I fiercely persecute them, and many go and eat that host in sin. Ha, 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 ha. What happiness! What contentment! What joy! They hate their God and they eat him. Ha, 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 my victory, victory, hurrah. How senseless are those who waste hours and hours during the day and night kneeling to adore a piece of bread hidden in a box on the altar of that false god. How much these people anger me. They destroy all my works that I obtained through so many sacrilegious Christians, priests, sisters, and bishops. How many sacrileges I continually reap. It is my incessant victory. How much pain, how much rage these irrational adorers. Eucharistic adoration is extremely important. Number 3, or C. I hate the rosary. That broken and rotten tool of that woman is like a hammer for me, which splits my head. Aye! It is the invention of some false Christians who do not obey me. For this they follow that bad woman, the Blessed Mother. That bad woman. They are false. Instead of listening to me, the one who reigns over the whole world, these false Christians go to pray to that wicked woman, my first enemy, with that instrument. Oh, how much pain it causes me. The rosary is important. Number 4, or D. The greatest pain in this period of time for me are the continual presences, the apparitions of this wicked woman in the whole world. She appears in all the nations, and she persecutes me, snatching from my hands so many souls, thousands and thousands, to listen to her false messages. Fortunately, the bishops and priests who do not believe in that vile woman defend me. They do not believe, and so they cause confusion. Good, good, these my apostles of heresy. Ha, 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 ha. So the good apparitions are good, but there's a lot of false apparitions. And because the devil doesn't want us to get to the true apparitions, so he sends in this period many false apparitions. So it's more difficult to find the true apparitions, which we need so much in this period of great confusion. Number E. But what destroys me even more is the asinine obedience to that man dressed in white, the Pope, who commands in the name of the false Redeemer and of your false Savior. What jackasses! Sheep! What rabbits! To obey a man who loves that wicked woman there, who always persecutes me. What a shame! This destroys my kingdom. But I have lifted up hundreds of priests, brothers, theologians, and bishops who make war against him. War without borders on that white clown. In other words, the Pope. I will win. I will win. Ha, ha, ha. I will kill him. I will murder him. He will end up very badly. He is odious to my followers. What Polish man that loves that wicked woman there? Polish man, he's talking about Pope John Paul II. That Polish man that loves that wicked woman there, who propagates the rosary of that low-minded woman, the Blessed Virgin, as his preferred prayer. What a coward! What a jackass! He crushes me! Ow! He screams in crying. The devil screams. He hates the rosary and the Pope, the good Pope. Number F. F. The devil continues. He says, I am very vexed by those little servants with the head covered, who abandon all and everything in order to close themselves within 4 walls, in order to sacrifice all that is beautiful and good for that God that only I have succeeded in defeating. Day and night they mortify themselves with night prayers and reckless and insubstantial fasting. They do not sleep sufficiently. They do not eat according to the needs of the appetite and of the body, which demands the necessary diet. They do not speak freely anywhere and always. Taciturn, sulky looking, full of sadness, the most inhuman. They pray, they sing, and all this sacrifice they do for who? He's talking about, in particular, cloistered nuns and religious who give their whole life to God in prayer and sacrifice. For what particular motive? For what ends? For what results? Fortunately, the vast majority are not very intelligent, dull-witted, lacking in willpower, who let themselves be dragged in by some dissatisfied priests, poor sissies, who do not know the true pleasure of sex with all of its relative pleasures, all little servants, who have never felt the sensations of the flesh by way of intercourse and by the kisses of my men. And yet, how many of them I cause to fall. I seduce them to a wretched life, sterile, deprived of all fervor, throwing them into the greatest lukewarmness. Yet I butcher them, because above all I fear the cloistered ones. I fear greatly. They are my most terrible and well-trained enemies. They rip from my hands so many souls of every sex, of every class and condition. What terrible enemies! When they begin to pray for the conversion of a soul to snatch from me, they no longer stop. no longer, no longer. They're tenacious and obstinate. And then, if it is not enough, the long and exhausting prayers to their false crucified God, who they shamelessly call their spouse, they then begin with the arduous penances of great type. What enemies, what stormtroopers! I have tried many times to diminish the vocations of this stupid life, but unfortunately I have not yet succeeded. There are still too many stupid little foolish women, even though many times they have college degrees. What enemies! I'll end this here, but I'd like to just add a quote here. In the last 10 years, under Pope Francis, in a very slight but very powerful way, he is destroying. He's telling that these nuns of cloistered nuns must go out of their convents and to lose their vocation. It's interesting that he's very pointed at destroying the many cloistered convents all over the world. You could find much information about this on the internet. May God bless you and Mary guide you.